So, good morning dear students. Today we are going to discuss about 13th June, the Hindu newspaper. So, dear student, to get this infographics edition, you simply scan this QR code to download our application. In that application, there is a folder or there is a, you can say, section that is called Infographics Edition. There you will get all the full year infographics PDF available. You can join our Telegram to get all other study materials. Okay? So, first important news of the today is that Air India flight with 242 on board crash in the Ahmedabad. Very sad incident happened yesterday. So, a flight that is carrying 242 passenger, okay? So that is crashed in the Ahmedabad, and only one person survived in that crash. Okay? So, London bound flight 787 aircraft crashes into Medical College complex after takeoff. Okay? The pilot issue Mayday alert soon after the takeoff and go silent before the crash. So, whenever any issue and severe issue face, so generally pilot call Mayday. Okay, give a what you can say it's a Mayday means emergency. So then several casualty fear on the ground with officials count those killed await. Then one passenger survived miraculously. So it's a very you can say strange incident. One passenger who are who can come out of this attack. Okay? So tragedy on the takeoff. So you can just read all these things. So majority of the passenger are from Indians and few are from the Britain, Portugal and Canadian. Okay, we don't know what are the reason for this accident, but we are looking for the black box. So you can see search will go on for aircraft black box for the clue understanding what happened in the last crucial moment that led to this crash. So we are looking for this black box to understand the reason for this crash. Okay. So you can see the Tata Group provide 1 crore money to those who have died in this unfortunate incident. Okay? So here also in this accident also the former CM of the Gujarat, you can say Gujarat, Vijay Bhupani is also died in this accident, and 5 MBBS student killed say medical body also. So the plane land on the roof of the hostel. So because of the 5 MBBS student also died in the accident also. So dear student, next important news of the day is the retail inflation is to 6-year low. So dear student, you know that the inflation can be count on 2 way. First one is CPI, consumer price index, next one is WPI. Okay, wholesale price index. So it is your homeworks. So just let me tell you once again. So I'll give you daily 5 to 6 homework. So you will have to complete that 5 to 6 homework. So and it is my promise you will get 20 to 30 marks directly in your UPSC. Okay? So first work is study about CPI versus WPI, and what is headline inflation and what is core inflation. What is headline inflation and what is core inflation? Please write in the comment box. So let me see how many of you know about that. Okay. So India's retail inflation is to 75 month low to 2.8. Okay. So you can see here our inflation is quite fluctuating, but it is now dipping below. You can say what is the inflation level in 2019. So it's a very good thing. That means our price is quite stable. So inflation in the food and beverage category is to 1.5%, downing from 2.1%, marking the 7th consecutive month slowing of the food inflation. Deflation is key components such as vegetables, pulses, spices. We are seeing deflation means decline in the price. Okay, inflation means increase in the price. Meat contribute to this declining. So however, double-digit inflation shown in oil, fruits partially offset the broader moderations. Okay? So we know that our RBI, Reserve Bank of India, they follow a monetary policy on the basis of inflation to keeping the inflation 2 to 6% band, that is 4% plus or minus 2% band. So if inflation is below this band, so that means RBI may further either hold the rate cut or may further cut the rate. That is to be seen in the next next monetary policy. Okay. So next important news of the day is India marks a relatively drop in the gender parity. Okay? So recently a report published by World Economic Forum, which is clearly saying that India rank is falling. Okay? So but but if you see into the Bangladesh performance, it is quite outperforming. So this is very important for your prelims, and you can use this as a fodder point to write your mains point. So let us study about that. So World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report. So you need to remember that the World Economic Forum, it published the gender gap report in 2025, ranked India 131 out of 148 country with a parity of 64.1. So put India the lowest ranked country in South Asia. India ranked 129 out of 146 last year. That means our performance declining by 2 rank. Okay. So full then full parity, full parity will take 123 year at current rate. That means if you want women to be equal with that of men, we need 120 year. Like to bring women equals to men, we need 123 years. So in this list, Iceland is on the top, okay, and for 16th year running, followed by Finland, Norway, UK, and New Zealand. So this can be a very good question in your UPSC prelims. So Bangladesh emerged as a best performing South Asia, jumping 75 positions to rank 24 globally. So we can learn from Bangladesh. देखो Bangladesh, despite having so many turmoil that is currently going on, still it is performing very well, ranked 24 globally. ठीक है. So reveal both encouraging and momentum and persistent structural barrier facing the women in worldwide. So the global gender gap index measure the gender parity across 4 key dimensions. So here you have to remember. So they can ask a question, the gender gap report is prepared by using which parameter. So it is first about economic participation. Like how much percentage of women they participate economically, then opportunity and educational attainment, health and survival, then political empowerment. Okay? So these factors are used to count. The global gender gap. So dear student, this is a very important for your prelims. Okay? Please read and note down all of them. And dear student, those who are writing mains 2025, you can join our intensive answer writing program. So it is completely flexible. We are providing 4 questions per day and full length test in a week, and you will get timely evaluation by UPSC selected faculty. So who have already selected in UPSC and forest service, they are going to evaluate your copy. So you will get high quality evaluation at very nominal fee. To join that, you simply scan this QR code. Okay, in case any doubt, you can reach out to us. So next is ship rescue operation hit as the silver vessel run out of the fuel. So you know that there is a currently a fire is burning in a ship that is on the you can say on the eastern side of the Kerala. So even the authority have been struggling to contain the fire on boarding Singapore flagged vessels. So deployed by ownership ship to remove this, or you can say douse this explosion. So despite you can say the ship that is used to remove or reduce the fire, it is out of the fuel. So our Coast Guard continuously fighting despite challenging sea condition. A specialized team from the deploy on board Indian Air Force Mi-17 helicopter to carry out aerial refighting operation. During the missions, the team successfully disposed 1 tons of dry chemicals powder directly onto the fire core. Okay, official said. Although the external fire has been extinguished, dense smoke continued to emanate from the ships. Though still it is lot of smoke is coming out. So meanwhile, the salvage team observed hydrocarbon released near the fuel tank burning ship. So the presence of hydrocarbon vapor. देखो, this ship is carrying highly explosive material. So whenever fire is burning, so there is high chances that these fuel might vaporize, and the vaporization of this fuel may cut and cause explosion. So that is what it is, very risky operation. So it is going on. So we hope that we successfully prevent any such incident like MSC Ilsa recently sunken on the coast of Kerala. So we need to prevent same thing happen with it also. Okay. So this is a very important article. Restore loan relief section in disaster act. This is what Pinarayi Vijayan said to the our prime minister. So Kerala chief minister mentioned that the prime minister that they seek to reintervention in this, like reintroduction of the sections 13 of disaster management act to provide relief in payment of repayment of the loan of a disaster victim. Let's say X person X taken some loan, X person taken let's say 1 lakh loans, but because of disaster, if that person not able to repay, so in that case that person is can apply for relief of this loan. That means either that loan can be deferred or that loan can be waived off. So here it is given, section 13 enable the providing financial relief to the victim of disaster who face unprecedented crisis and will have to rebuild their life. This provision was included in humanitarian intent and deleting same amount put victim into putting the victim in natural disaster to hardship. So but recently what happened, this is what the current provision, but section read the national authority may in case of disease of severe magnitude recommend relief, repayment of loan or grant fresh loan to the person affected by the disasters. This is what the provision, but union government informing the Kerala High Court that a law does not allow the loan waiver of the victim recently Wayanad disaster. So citing the amendment they made in the May 2025. That means earlier law it was provide for a waiver of loan or some sort of relief, but after this amendment it is not provided. This is what we need. So you can recommend that the section 13 of Disaster Management Act need to be amended, that so that disaster victim can get support of disaster relief, or you can say during severe disaster they can support of waive of their loan. Okay. So dear student, next dear student, those who are appearing for mains 2026, you can join our daily answer writing program. So it is 2 questions per day. It is completely flexible, either you can write question of your choice or you can write question of our sources. Okay. So it is very nominal fee. Okay. Yet you will get very high quality evaluations. To get to join this, you simply scan this QR code. So next recently we have provided connectivity. Recently first time in India, you can say after so many years we are seeing that we are providing connectivity to connectivity to east, west, north, south. So we are able to achieve our goals. Okay. So recently we are providing connectivity to the Kashmir Valley. So it will boost travel, trade and tourism in the Jammu and Kashmir. So let's study here what is written. The Srinagar is now closer to the rest of India with newly inaugurated Udhampur Srinagar Baramulla link, of which stretch from the Jammu and Kashmir capital to Katra operational. I should take train and speak those travelling in to understand that the Vande Bharat Express means to the people of Valley. So with 36 tunnels, the world highest railway arc bridge, India's fast cable stay railway bridge, it is an engineering landmark that showcase natural heritage of India northernmost regions. Okay, so it is engineering marbles. So here our Ministry of Railway given an interview detail about that. So what is that? So first so it will boost travel, trade and tourism in Jammu Kashmir. So Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on importance of new line. So what project most challenging part of the project? His dream decade has been reality, overcoming many challenges. Unique Himalaya geology with earthquake prone zones, difficult terrain of being significant one. So it is passing through 943 bridges. Site was common issue. So construction of 215 kilometer approach road. So to just to construct that railway line, we need to have 215 kilometer approach road. So itself is a project. So and 36 main tunnel and 8 escape tunnel are separate of challenging, including landslide and cavity formation, water ingression and presence of methane gas. So these are the challenges through which our engineer go through to make this project successful. Okay. So how important is the rail for the strategic and military need of the region? Yes, you know that Jammu Kashmir is always cut off from the mainland during not having proper connectivity obviously create a separatist mindset. So Kashmir was and is and will always be an integral part of India. Yes, definitely was, is and going to be. So rail link provides all weather connectivity to improve the connectivity border region. Key difference in people lives that they will now easily move between valley and Jammu region. People will have access to the transportation throughout the year. This is very important. Earlier there is a connectivity, but during severe winter season, during severe snowfall, so the valley is cut off from the mainland. Okay, so after this rail line we can have throughout the connectivity. So connectivity is not going to be an issue. So next is how are you think the care of safety on the 2 counts, extreme weather, because it is passing through snowfall and heavy rainfall and threat of terrorists. So passenger safety is our topmost priority. So bridges and rail links if designed to withstand extremely high wind and high magnitude of earthquake. For instance, the Chenab You can see Chenab bridge can withstand speed up to 266 km per hour, because such a high height, the wind speed is very high. If you not design your bridge in such a high winds capacity, it is going to collapse. So that is the reason we are designing in such way. So next is the earthquake up to 8 magnitude Richter scale. This sensor is installed on the bridge to provide real time data about the wind speed, temperature, so that we can use to gauge the vibration and humidity. So regarding the threat from the terrorists, so we know that recently we have taken a promise that any sort of attack will have to deal with very strongly. Like जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि आप अगर कोई अटैक हुआ, will enter into the Pakistan and kill their terrorists in their home. No need to like साफ सफाई के लिए हम सफाई के लिए इंडिया जाके, मतलब यहाँ से सफाई नहीं करेंगे, गंदगी के जगह में जाके सफाई करेंगे हम. So how do you see the rail link integrating Kashmir to the mainland? Yes, will boost the travel, trade, tourism in Jammu, Kashmir. Travel time from the Jammu to Srinagar is half. So Kashmiri golden apple, so they will move to all part of the India, including South India. So recent interaction in local Kashmir, they express their firm belief that rail line will bring glory day. So tourism. So this is part of the Bikshit Kashmir also. So here you can see that the operations to connect Kashmir with the rest of the India started in 1994, declared as a national project in 2008, funded by the central government. So 272 kilometer Udhampur Srinagar Baramulla rail link, of which Srinagar Katra now operational. First train to connect Kashmir Valley. So just read it out, you'll understand a lot of things given. So I've already highlighted it. So how it is going to help us? So you can see that recent time there are so many good connectivity projects that we are building, that is going to help us a lot. So next we'll go to the end page. So reclaiming the golden hour, how technology can help beat the traffic. Whenever there is an accident, so first 1 hour is golden hour. The first you reach the medical, the first we reach the ambulance, the high chances of saving the life of a person. So that is what called golden hours. So difference between life and death during a medical emergency often hinge on the single factor, that is time. But in urban area we are seeing that rising traffic, urban traffic delay. So crucial moment like 30 minutes, 40 minutes are wasted because of the traffic jam. So there can be solution like golden hour, like there can solution like we can use GPS based tracking, so that we can easily dispatch the ambulance that is located very nearest to the accident spot, so that we can reduce the time. Second, we can use the GPS to find shortest route to the nearest medical center, so that we can make sure that patient should reach the medical. There are other system also, signal override system. Whenever let's say there is a already red signal is here, so if there is a ambulance approaching in this line, so automatically this red is converted into green signal, so that it will automatically pass. So this system is already trying in different locations, so that can be also explored. So next we can also not given here, we can also explore the drone. So rescue drone, we can explore the rescue drone in the urban area, where people, those who are accidental or injured, they can airlift and drop in the hospital. So hardly it will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to reach from that accidental spot to the medical. So all these things you can note them out. So another barrier is public apathy. Survivor indicate that 62% of ambulance driver report motorized refuse to yield. So sometimes you see that whenever there is an ambulance, people are not giving passes to this ambulance, so which is very serious concern. So for that we need to have a law, ambulance right of way need to be enforced more stringently. So those who are not giving passes to the ambulance, so they need to be penalized. So time is more critical element in emergency treatment. When the golden hour is lost to traffic, it is not merely the delay, it is often preventable death. So these kind of things you can use to control all this death. First one is using GPS, second one is overriding, third one is you can say the right of the ambulance, right of the ways. That means whenever there is an ambulance, everyone is responsible to provide a passes to the ambulance. And last one is you can say about we can use the drone to airlift the passenger, that is those who are affected. So next is science behind the right AC temperature. So recently there is a proposal by our Ministry of Power. We need to set our AC temperature in optimum level of 20 to 28 degrees Celsius, so that it is not only save our electricity bill, it is also going to help in improving the health also. So Union Ministry Power has indicated that considering the restriction on temperature range on air condition between 20 to 28 degrees Celsius, study indicate that apart from energy saving benefits, they also help the public health. So what is that? Union Ministry Power so a mulling plan to set the default temperature. That means whenever you turn on your AC, automatically it will be in the range of, let's say 25, it will be automatically in the range of 25, unless otherwise you have to modify it. Okay. So so it will also apply to the AC in the hotel, car and household. Okay. So so about labeling AC with optimum temperature setting. So ministry had statement that if you reduce, if you increase temperature by 1 degree, there will be saving of 6% of energy saved. So 20 degrees Celsius recommended by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency study. Could all consumer adopt this ending, then we will save 20 billion units. So if all the customer of India, if they adopt 20 degrees Celsius as a by default or default temperature setting, then we will save 20 billion unit of electricity by 2030. BE said that this time. Okay. So again it is saying that by increasing the temperature, the default table temperature, it is also going to help the health, it will reduce the hypertension, asthma, respiratory infection when people exposed to under 18 degrees. So it is helpful for not only saving the energy, it is also helpful for improving health condition. That is the reason we need to set the higher you can say temperature. Okay, higher temperature on the range of 20 to 28. So currently optimum temperature is around 17. So next is Japan China trade blame over the latter jet flying very close to the Japan aircraft. So recently there is a incident happened where the Chinese aircraft, they are flying very close, that is dangerously close to the Japanese aircraft. So here Japan and China blame each other on Thursday after the Tokyo raised concern that Chinese fighter jet come dangerously close to the Japan reconnaissance plane. So why this has happened? This has happened because recently it is seen that the Japanese self defense forces spotted two carrier of China. They are operating near to the Japanese island first time. Okay, so because of that, Japan deploy its carrier. Japan deploys not aircraft to intercept that. So after that this incident is happened. Okay. So next is China say it issue rare earth export licenses. So recently certain number of licenses to export rare earth after US President Donald Trump held the last week deal would be see country provide vital element to the upfront. Okay. So next is IAEA board censor Iran for not complying with the nuclear obligation. So recently IAEA of Iran and Foreign Ministry Tehran no choice but to respond this political resolution. USA Embassy Jerusalem restrict the staff movement due to security concern amid heightened tension. So UN nuclear watchdog recently said that Iran is not following the norms properly, whatever it is obligation on the nuclear peaceful use of nuclear. Meanwhile, USA Embassy and Jerusalem announced that it was restricting the staff movement after President Donald Trump said that US personnel were being moved from the potentially danger West Asia due to increasing regional tension. United States employee and their family member are restricted from traveling outside. So one more incident also, Israel should not strike Iran as deal is close. So but I think as for news today morning I have seen, so already the Israel conducted a lot of strike inside the Iran. Next is Trump unveil a website for 5 million gold card the USA residency visa. So USA Donald Trump launched website trumpcard.com for his 5 million gold card visa, offering wealthy foreigner permanent US residency and path to the citizenship. This card aimed to attract investor, promising green card privileges and economic benefit amid ongoing immigration debate. If you promote, if you invest 5 million more, more than 5 million, you will get automatically a gold card in the USA. That is citizen for sale. This is what called citizen for sale. It allow only the wealthy individuals to come and settle in the India. Okay, not India, USA. So next is RBI is the KYC norm for customer convenience. So Reserve Bank of India ease the KYC norms for convenience of the customer. ठीक है. So central bank introduced facility for uploading KYC through video facility called video based KYC for customer onboarding information, that you know. So it is the responsibility, so ensure that there should not be any problem because of KYC. So next is Sensex dip 1% as USA hint Israel Iran attack. So because of international instability, so investor they pulled out their money for safe places. So Air India plane crash may harden aviation insurance premium. ठीक है. This significant incident in insurance industry expected to influence aviation insurance rate going forward, influence the renewal terms premium, say insurance industry official. So if the recent plane accident happened, so because of that there might be more demand from the insurance industry to pay premium to get this insurance. You know, in case of any insurance, it is the insurance industry who have to compensate the passenger and compensate to the, you can say, the aircraft owner. So they will demand more money as a premium. Okay. So next recently some expert saying that the overloading or bad hit among the likely cause of the air crash suggested by the exporter. So cause of the recent accident of, you can say, the crash of the Air India flight can be overloading. That means in case there is a overload, so flight is not able to fly at a certain altitude. So second is there might be possibility of bad hit also. So it is remain to be seen how, like, which reason is the real reason for this accident. And dear student, those who are giving attempt in 2026, you can simply scan this QR code to practice the test in a real time basis to understand how you are performing. So you know, all leader across the country, they simply offer the condolences to the death of the people. Even the UK Prime Minister Stammer and King Sharks expressed shock over the crashes. So it is a very fatal crashes. You know, everyone shocked because of that. And dear student, those who are want daily mentorship based target, you simply scan this QR code to join our daily mentorship program. ठीक है. सो जायंट प्लेन टीयर थ्रो हॉस्टल, सम स्टूडेंट मिसिंग, सो 60 हर्ट. सो रिसेंटली देयर जो रिसेंटली एक्सीडेंट ऑल्सो कॉज डेथ ऑफ दी इवन दी मेडिकल student those who are on this hostel also. MBBS student were having lunch in a boys hostel of a medical college in Ahmedabad when plane rammed through and the college is now site for collecting DNA samples of relative dead passenger. Injured are being treated in the civil hospitals. ठीक है. So here it is given number of disaster of the past. You can just have note of it so that you know whenever you write answer you can put all these things, so that will give you very good marks. And dear student, we are also providing a summary of daily current affair. So it is in 4 to 6 pages. So you can simply scan this QR code. You will get current affair summary of everything in a simple and one place. ठीक है. The Stalin release from the Mathur Dam. So dear student, it is your task to map this location, Mathur Dam. ठीक है. So Mathur Dam and which river is located and what are the significance of it, you have to map that. Okay. So recently, you know, the Modi and Karne meet in G7, focus on the bilateral reset. So you know, recent time we have seen that India relation with Canada is plunged to a very low. So because of, you know, the support Canada supposed to the Khalistani, and there is an allegation by the Canadian government that Indian government involved in killing of this Khalistani separatist group. So because of that, the relation is plunged to very low, and recent invitations to our Prime Minister to visit the G7 meeting. So this is a good opportunity to reset our tie. The upcoming meeting the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and, you know, Canadian counterpart provide an important opportunity to discuss matter of bilateral interest. So addressing the weekly media briefing, ठीक है, noted that mutual security concern are being addressed through the existing mechanism between both the country. ठीक है. So you can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi scheduled to attend G7 summit hosted by the Canada. So between June 15 to 17. So Prime Minister Karne acknowledged that India's global standing and said that India's stature made its participation G7 dialogue imperative. So bilateral ties between India and Canada witnessed sharp downturn following the acquisition by former Prime Minister, you know, Justin Trudeau, that who alleged that involvement of Indian state actor in killing of pro-Khalistani Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Response to India raised the issue of Khalistan separatists and organized criminal element operating from the Canadian territory. So because of that, it is a good opportunity to reset our ties and improve our relationship. Okay. So central government, so this is a very important news, central scheme must pass the effective test to continue. Like currently all the central scheme, they must pass the effectiveness test to continue. So every scheme fund partially or fully central government should have sunset date, says by finance ministry. He proposed more financial limitation including for demand driven scheme like मनरेगा. ठीक है, scheme that fully or partially funded by the central government will continue beyond the current financial year. Only evaluation report for the scheme show positive outcomes. That means from we are going to move from random allocation of the scheme to performance based this scheme. That means if a scheme is we are going to implement further, it should be have effectiveness, it should be fulfill its objective, otherwise there is no point of continuing that. So there are around 54 central schemes and 260 centrally sponsored scheme which approved end this year. So this is a very important news, so just read it out and make note of it. Okay, so there are criticism obviously, because मनरेगा is helping to poor peoples to have overcome during the stress period. If you cut the fund to all these schemes, so that is going to affect the poor people the most. Okay, so next is Modi upgrade and USA fiscal reality. So recently the Modi investor agency, they downgrade the rating of USA. Modi, so you have to study about what is sovereign rating. So your homework is sovereign rating, and this rating is provided by 3 important institutions. Please write in the comment box their name. So how you have to study detail about what is sovereign rating, which organization provides the sovereign rating, what are the parameter used for sovereign rating, and why sovereign rating is so important for us. Okay, so recently the Moody, they downgrade the US sovereign rating because of their poor performance. Because USA, you can see USA, their debt ratio is increasing very fast, debt to GDP ratio. So because of that their rating is downgrade. Okay, so same thing even in India, we have to think twice before increasing our debt. So we need to have a fiscal prudence, we have to follow a path. We should not use loan for fiscal consumption purpose, rather we should use our the loan amount in a very judicious way to create all this infrastructure, so that we can achieve our sustainable level of growth. So dear student, your work is study about encasing panel on debt to GDP ratio. What is the recommendation on debt to GDP ratio wala. Okay, so it is talking about celebrations to tragedy recently happened in the RCB. So you just read it out, you will find it the reason. Okay, so basically this stampede are happening in a very repeated occurrence. It's a clear indications that we need to modify our strategy to crowd management, because we are a country of 140 crore people. So we need to know how to manage our crowd. Okay, so the field of prawn and pokali. So the pokali rice is famous in Kerala, so they cultivate prawn and pokali rice. Okay, so it is here given the worker preparing field of pokali farming in Kochi. So field used for cultivation of saline tolerant rice variety on the onset of monsoon are also used for prawn farming during the summers. Okay, so you can see how sustainable agriculture farming can be used. So this is a classic example of sustainable farming, that is pokali rice along with fish farming. Okay, so just note it down, pokali rice. So it is very important. So recently we are seeing that there is a trend, authoritarian trend is emerging in the you can say in Bangladesh, where Muhammad Yunus, the caretaker government is formed. So their main responsibility is to after formation of the caretaker government, to ensure democratic transition and elected of the new government. But Muhammad Yunus emerged as a power hunger. So he started to extend his power as long as possible. Now he is proposing that change the constitution. So it seems that democracy and emergence of authoritarianism in Bangladesh is real, and after coming into power also banned the Awami League government. So that means it is a rigging board, and they try to change the constitutions to remove all the significance reference to the Awami League and its founder, so that capture the power. You can read, already I have highlighted it. These are the crux of this this article. Okay, and dear student, those who are preparing for OPSC, you can join our OPSC test series. So it is given the just simply scan this QR code and you will join it. Okay, So recently the IRCTC also taken a lot of step to prevent the booking of the agent, and and ensure that there should be a fair chance for the normal customer to book the Tatkal ticket. First one is, there are two steps they have taken. First one is they remove automated bot so that there cannot be automated booking. Second one is there is compulsory booking of the Aadhaar. Okay? So Aadhaar verifications, so that prevent the booking of all these agent, and people can directly book and they can have a fair chance of getting a seat in the you can say in Tatkal tickets. So next is Trump tariff and USA India trade agreement. So it is talking about it is talking about how our tariff relations. So you can just read it out, not much important for our examination, but just read it out, you'll understand. So here the urbanization and challenges of ideal transition solution. So currently around 2/3 of our population lives in urban area, but if you look by 2060, around 60% people are living in urban area. That means we are moving huge amount of people to the urban area. We need to design our urban infrastructure to meet that requirement. So currently what is our preference choice is bus, metros. See all this project. So if you look into their sustainability, their cost, it is not like going to be sustainable. So it is here this article argue that we can invest in sustainable project which can bring profit, low cost. Like it is proposing, we need to develop tram. We find that tram shows 45% long term profitability over the 7 decades and usual life cycle tram. That means we are on the verge of transitioning from the rural area to the urban area. So this is the right time we should study, we should conduct this study to understand which mode of transportation is the best, and we need to invest in that so that we can ensure there should be a sustainable transport system. So this is the crux of the article. So just read it out, you'll understand all these things. Okay. Yes, I think, dear student, it is all of the today news. So dear student, this is the completion of the today newspaper analysis. So I'm just I'm doing this the newspaper analysis in second day. So in case you have any suggestion, any feedback, anything, just please let me know in the comment box. If you like this discussion, please like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll try to bring this newspaper analysis in 8 AM itself. So just give me some time, because I'm doing it very fast time, so I'm not much comfortable with all this online stuff. So it is my promise, I'll bring best quality material, as well as I'll link how this reading or referring to is going to helpful to all of you. Okay, dear student, take care, bye bye, have a good day, bye.